Hello, everyone. This is Andrea Thies, and I am recording this video in advance of Unit 3 in our Disability and Sports class, which you are set to begin Monday, July 7th, and it runs through July 13th. I wanted to go over some of the goals for this unit and take you into the website as well to walk through the expectations. So first thing I'm going to be doing is sharing my screen. And what we can see here is when you are given access to this, which I will open up Sunday, you'll see that this week is about barriers to belonging, understanding access, safety, and inclusion in sport. And it's really exciting for me. I think all the material that we've introduced so far has been something I'm passionate about. This in particular goes into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty of creating accessible spaces and people who've done, who've created efforts to do that. So let me just show you. There's a few things, though, to mention. It is a very dense week. There's a lot to do this week that go beyond your discussion board. And what I want to say is remind you, so you have some assignments that are due on Wednesday. A mini assignment is to plan for your final project. So I want to get you started on thinking about that. The instructions for all of that are going to be embedded in the course website. But get that out there for Wednesday so that your peers can give you comments by Sunday night, and also so that I can, because your final project is a big part of your final grade. The actual assignment for week 3, in addition, the portfolio assignment is an ability walk, and that is an assignment where you are going to go into a space of your choice that is a sporting or recreation space and approach it from a different lens in terms of how is that space accessible? What are some changes that need to be made for it to make it better accessible? And hopefully this section this unit will cover and give you a clear idea of things to look for. I've also created a checklist for that, so that's attached to that assignment. So just to go into this, there for this week, so I have all the key due dates and assignments listed here. So please look over this very carefully. By Wednesday, that mini assignment project plan is due. Your discussion post is due. Then on Friday, you have to respond to your classmates on your discussion post. And then for Sunday, you have the portfolio assignment. Your ability walk is due. There's a safe sports quiz. And then you have a bonus opportunity, and that would be responding to your classmates' mini assignment. And when you're on this first page, this sort of leads you in. This, before we get started, is actually where my video will be and your first reflection. And that is really to think about a space you've been in, and that could be a gym, a park, a fitness center, a pool, a trail, a sports field, right? And what are some things you notice about entering that space? And I want you to start thinking about, just from your own experience, how did you access it? Would there be some, and then start thinking about, would there be someone who would have a harder time accessing? In the Discover section, this is where all the materials are, and this is what I'm really excited to share with you. So I do have vocabulary, and I've linked now all the vocabulary that I've created, and definitions right here in an attachment. But what's exciting to me is some things I've recently learned about, and some children, third grade children, who led a campaign to advocate for disability awareness education in the New York State schools. and they were able to accomplish that. They got the legislature to vote and approve on it. And so this is their story, both a video and a reading about it. And I want you to learn about that. I have 2 readings that talk about universal design, ways to make spaces more accessible. And so that's what you can engage in there. And then something that's very close to my heart and my passion for rowing, I've included a case study for how we approached improving accessibility to rowing, at least the access through our water access. And we installed a dock. And some of the challenges we've encountered and we're still encountering. I am right now, we're currently this summer in the process of using a new dock, and we've right away discovered issues with it. And I talk about how we brought people in from the disability community initially, but maybe that we needed to return and revisit with them and maybe should have been part of the whole process all along. So that's shared here. I have information for U.S. Center for Safe Sport, and you'll learn more about that there, and a very important organization that addresses safety for people's well-being in sport and vulnerable populations. And also they are regulated, or they're required for organizations that are affiliated with the Olympic and Paralympic movement. They are not necessarily required for all universities or all clubs or organizations, but the principles that they follow are essential for all organizations. So I want you to learn more about that. And then finally, here, the last part describes a little bit more about what you're expected for that funnel project, what that mini assignment is, and where to go next, right? And going into Engage is where you will see your next steps. So for the way the layout of this website is, it goes under Engage, and that's where you can see what is due by Wednesday and where to go to link to it. I have a reminder again about the submissions. And then for Sunday, there is also a description of what's required. Your bonus is included in there. And then as you read through specifically what is expected and how to link to those assignments. If you have questions, please reach out to me. And I just feel that we've done such great work. You are learning really well and gaining a lot of insights. The more that we can share those insights with each other in our discussion forum currently, the better learning for everybody. So to the best of your ability, do so. I encourage you in this next upcoming assignments too, to include photos and videos and any forms of expressions that are also best for you, but recognizing they might be better for other people too. And it's all a work in progress. We're all learning. More than anybody. So I can appreciate your needs and concerns as you're learning as well. Good luck, everybody. Hope you have a great week.